Getting your electrical license isn't complicated, but there's a specific path, and if you don't know what that path is, you'll waste time and money going the wrong direction. Here's exactly how it works. Welcome to Hardwired Trades. Today we're walking through the electrical licensing process step by step. This applies whether you're brand new to the trade or you've been working in it for a while and you're ready to get official. Let's get into it. First, understand the license levels. Electrical licensing has multiple tiers, and knowing which one you're going for matters. Apprentice helper. In most states, you can register as an electrical apprentice or trainee. This lets you work under a licensed electrician legally. Usually requires registering with your state's contractor board or electrical licensing board. It's often a simple form and a small fee, but it's required in many jurisdictions. Working in the field without being registered can get you and your employer in trouble. Journeyman electrician. This is the license you get after completing your training hours and passing the journeyman exam. A journeyman can perform most electrical work independently, though they typically have to work under a contractor's license or master's license. This is the core working credential in the trade. Master electrician. This is the advanced license. Requires more experience hours on top of your journeyman time, plus a more comprehensive exam. Masters can supervise journeymen, and in most states are required to pull permits and run their own electrical contracting business. Electrical contractor license. Separate from the master's license in some states, this is the business license that lets you legally operate as an electrical contractor. Requirements vary widely by state. Some states combine the master and contractor license. Some keep them completely separate. Know your state. Step 1. Know your state's requirements. This is critical. Licensing requirements vary by state, and in some states they vary by county or city. There is no single national electrical license. Go to your state's contractor licensing board website, or labor department, or electrical board. It varies by state. Look for electrical license requirements. You'll find how many hours of experience are required, what type of exam you need to take, whether you need to complete an apprenticeship program, any specific educational requirements. California, for example, requires 8,000 hours of field experience plus passing the C10 contractor exam to hold an electrical contractor license. Texas has a multi-level system with trainee, apprentice, journeyman, master, and contractor tiers. Florida requires both a competency exam and a business and finance exam. Every state is different. Do not assume what worked in one state applies in another, even if you've been in the trade for 10 years. Step 2. Log your hours. Most states require documented work experience before you can sit for the exam. You need to keep records of your hours worked under a licensed electrician. If you're in an apprenticeship, your JHC or employer handles this documentation. If you're working independently as a trainee, you'll need to keep your own records, pay stubs, employer letters, signed verification forms. Don't skip this step. You don't want to lose years of experience because you can't prove it when you apply for your exam. Some electricians have been in the trade for 7 years and can only document 4 because they weren't keeping records. That's a costly mistake. Get in the habit of keeping a simple log. Date, employer, type of work performed, hours. Have your employer sign off periodically. A spreadsheet works fine. Store it somewhere you won't lose it. This is documentation that could be worth thousands of dollars in licensing fees and waiting time later. Step 3. Study for the exam. The journeyman exam tests you on electrical theory, NEC, National Electrical Code, calculate, ONS, and job knowledge. It's not easy. People fail it. The NEC is the core reference. You take the exam open book in most states, meaning you can bring the code book, but knowing where things are in the code is half the battle. It's a thick book, and the exam is timed. Recommended prep. Buy the current NEC and tab it out. Use exam prep books. Tom Henry, Mike Holt, Uglies are popular. Take practice tests. There are apps and online courses for this. Give yourself at least 60 to 90 days of consistent study. Don't underestimate it. People who don't study fail. People who study pass. Here's a specific tip on studying. Focus on Article 220, load calculations, Article 240, overcurrent protection, Article 300, wiring methods, and Article 310, conductors, first. Those sections generate a disproportionate share of exam questions. Then learn the locations of the most tested tables. Having them tabbed means you can find them quickly on the timed exam. Mike Holt's exam prep courses are widely considered some of the best available, and he has both books and online video courses. If you're serious about passing on the first attempt, invest in quality study materials. The exam fee and the lost time from a failed attempt cost more than good prep. Step 4. Apply to test. Once you have your hours documented, you apply to your state's electrical licensing board to sit for the exam. You'll pay an application fee, submit your experience documentation, and potentially submit proof of any required education or apprenticeship completion. The application processing time varies. Some states process in a few weeks, others take a couple months. Plan ahead. Don't submit your application and expect to be testing next week. Build in the processing time and use that period to keep studying. Some states use third-party testing centers like PSI or Pearson VUE to administer the exams. You'll schedule your test date with them after your application is approved. These centers have multiple locations in most states, so find one that's convenient and book as early as possible once you're approved. Step 5. Pass the exam. Show up early. Bring your ID, bring your NEC, and any other allowed reference materials. Read every question carefully. Watch your time. If you don't pass the first time, and plenty of people don't, you can retake it. Most states have a waiting period between attempts. Use that time to study the areas where you were weak. Most testing centers give you a score breakdown that shows which topic areas you missed. That's your study guide for the retake. Don't let a first attempt failure discourage you. Some of the best electricians I know failed the journeyman exam the first time. What matters is that you go back prepared and pass it on the retake. Step 6. Get your license and keep it active. Once you pass, you pay your licensing fee and your license is issued. In most states, licenses require renewal every 1 to 3 years, which may include continuing education requirements. Stay on top of this. A lapsed license can create legal and insurance problems. Set a calendar reminder 3 to 6 months before your renewal date. Some insurance carriers won't cover you with a lapsed license, which means you'd be personally liable for any issues that arose during that gap. Don't let it lapse. The renewal process is simple. The consequences of not doing it are not. One more thing. Reciprocity. Some states have license reciprocity agreements, meaning your license in one state may be accepted in another state with little or no additional testing. If you're thinking about working in multiple states, look into which states have reciprocity with yours. Reciprocity is especially valuable if you're doing commercial or industrial work that crosses state lines, or if you're in a region where you might work in 2 or 3 states regularly. Check your state licensing board's website for a current list of reciprocal states. These agreements change from time to time. Beyond the e-license, what actually changes? Getting your journeyman license is a significant milestone, but it's worth understanding what actually changes, practically speaking, once you have it. You can work independently on most jobs without direct supervision on every task. In most states, a journeyman can perform and complete electrical work, with the contractor license being what's required to pull permits and run a business. In some states, journeymen can actually pull permits for certain types of work. Know your state's specific rules. Your earning potential increases immediately. Licensed journeymen command higher wages than unlicensed workers across the board, union and non-union, residential and commercial. If you've been working without a journeyman card, getting it typically translates to a $3 to $8 hour wage increase with your current employer and stronger negotiating power. If you're looking at other opportunities, you become a more attractive hire. Contractors who are building commercial or industrial crews specifically need licensed journeymen. The license is often a hard requirement. Without it, you're not eligible, regardless of your skills or experience. For the business-minded, your journeyman license is the stepping stone to the master license and contractor license. Every hour you work after getting your journeyman card is counting toward the experience requirement for your master exam. Track those hours. That timeline is accelerating the moment you hold that journeyman card. When things go wrong, failed exams and licensing delays, Not everyone passes on the first attempt, and not everyone's application process goes smoothly. Here's how to handle the common friction points. If you fail the exam, most states have a mandatory waiting period between attempts, often 30 to 90 days. Use that time well. Get your score breakdown. Study the areas where you fell short. Get better exam prep materials if what you used wasn't sufficient. The exam isn't designed to be impossible. It's designed to verify competency. If you're competent in the trade, the right preparation will get you through it. If your application gets kicked back, common reasons include incomplete experience documentation, missing signatures from supervising electricians, or administrative errors. Address the specific issue identified, resubmit promptly, and follow up if you don't hear back within 2 weeks. Licensing boards can be slow. Persistence matters. If you lose your documentation, this is painful but recoverable. Past employers are required to keep payroll records for several years. Reach out and request written verification of your employment dates and hours. Former apprenticeship programs keep records. Tax records showing self-employment income can help verify work periods. Reconstruct what you can and be honest in your application about what you're providing. That's the step-by-step path to getting your electrical license. If you're in a specific state and want to know the exact requirements, drop your state in the comments, and I'll try to point you in the right direction. Subscribe to Hardwired Trades for more real trade content, and I'll see you in the next video.